Hello, Brenton with All Octane here, and in this video we are going on an adventure. We are heading to the St. Louis Auto Show. Super excited to go, and I'm going to try to make some videos, some educational things, figure out some theories, test some theories, and just look at some cool cars. So let's get going. So before we go to the auto show though, you guys know me, I've got to stop by Walmart. However, you might not know why I'm stopping by Walmart in this instance. Normally it's for Hot Wheels, but today, is it for Hot Wheels? Let's find out. What I did not expect to see today was a Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, and Maserati dealer. Not where I am at. This is not where I thought this would be in St. Louis. And there's Porsche here too. Wow, that's just kind of bonkers. I can promise you I did not plan to drive by the Ferrari dealership. However, the roads are not conducive to Ferrari conditions at all. The roads in this neighborhood are terrible. I could not believe anybody would drive a Ferrari or a BMW or Maserati down any of, oh my goodness, these roads. And also, none of those cars, BMW, Porsche, Cadillac, and none of them are at the auto show. Fascinating, right? Okay, so y'all know that I am definitely here to look at Hot Wheels. However, there is another thing that I am here for, and it goes along with testing a theory that I have, or a hypothesis, and it's about last year's auto show and a vehicle that I reviewed. That vehicle had a lot of comments and opinions and views, so I want to solve it once and for all this year, and so I need something at Walmart to figure that out. I really don't know why I've been searching for Hot Wheels lately though. Look at this. This is just absolutely empty. There's nothing here. Oh, it's frustrating. Well, now I'm really frustrated because what I was looking for is a luggage scale. Since moving out here, I've been incredibly disappointed with the amount of merchandise and stock that have been on the shelves at most of these stores. Yes, it is the holidays, and I understand where it's after the holidays, and a lot of stuff is hard to come by. But one thing I've realized is that St. Louis is not quite the hub that you might think it is. A lot of flights do not originate from here. We're not a hub for any of the major airlines. We're not a hub for any of the train stations. So technically this is almost the end of the line if you kind of look at it, or like a midway point that just kind of sits in no man's land. Something I did not think was the case, nor is it really fun when you're trying to hunt down particular products. I'm gonna stop by a Target really fast to see if they have one. The sad part is I've already been to this Target, so I already know they don't have Hot Wheels, so it's kind of, the pain. Well, I'm glad I checked anyway because they had one of the more Formula One cars that I'm looking for, so that's good. Target is coming in clutch today. Got a luggage scale and the Mercedes. Okay, I'm a pretty happy camper now. I should have just stopped here first. Why do I go to Walmart? Hot Wheels, that's why I'm hot. Now it's just a matter of waiting in line. Oh my goodness, just two things, that's all I want, just two things. So I found a place to stash the car, only $10 for parking, not too bad. Now I'm trying to find the staircase down out of the parking garage to go into the convention center. Okay, so I made it, and now it's time to go test out these theories. Okay, so last year, my Honda Ridgeline video got a ton of comments and a ton of flack about my opinion on the tailgate. So this year, I'm going to test it. I do believe it is one of the heaviest tailgates out there. And here's how I'm going to kind of prove it. It doesn't have a soft open, for one thing. And then two, I'm going to perform the same test that I did on the TRX so far. And I'm going to hold the bungee cable in place and then pull just straight up until the gate lifts. So there's some sort of lift. $17.9. That is like 4 pounds more than the TRX. Let's try it one more time. £17 pounds. So I have proven that the Honda Ridgeline tailgate is much heavier than all the trucks out there. Now you know. So some of the thoughts that cross my mind when I come to auto shows are, what happens to the car after the auto show? I'd be curious to keep track of the VINs to know what happens to these cars, because you can look up VINs online. But I was just talking to a representative at a GM booth with the GM Denali, and he was telling me that he drove the vehicle here and then he's going to drive it back to the dealership. And that is fascinating to me, because your car potentially could have been on the auto show circuit where hundreds of people have already sat in it, and now you're buying it. Fascinating to think about, right? Another thought is also thinking about what cars they allow you to sit in at what shows. So for example, the Ford booth has an F-150 Lightning that you can actually sit in. The Chevy booth has a C8 Corvette that they do not let you sit in. Why is that? It's fascinating to think about, right? Ameren Power Company has these cool little tables where you can charge your phone. The funny thing is these are all Apple or micro USB. These are not USB-C. Samsung takes USB-C. What is up with this, Ameren? Come on, get with the program. I'm sitting here eating some lunch at this charging station. It's not charging very fast, but oh well. So an interesting thought while I'm sitting here eating lunch is this Tesla Model X has a ton of people interested in it. A lot of kids. And that to me makes me interested, because kids nowadays have a very different mentality when it comes to what their dream car will be when they get older. And for me, it would have been like, you know, 57 Chevy or a Ferrari or a Dodge Viper or something like that. These kids are going to want Teslas. And that just kind of makes me wonder, like, what is going to be an affordable car for them someday? Because obviously a Viper is still very hard to obtain for someone like myself, or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, right? But these Tesla Model X's, those are the supercars of now that these kids will be looking at in the future. And that kind of just makes me wonder, will they be able to ever obtain something like this? Especially considering that a lot of these are like electronics, they're large electronics, so will they be desirable in a number of years? Is somebody going to want to refurbish and restore a Tesla Model X in 25 years? Fascinating thoughts to think about. So one of my more interesting opinions, not about the auto show, but about the St. Louis Convention Center, is the lighting. As you can see, there is white and blue and yellow lighting in this convention center. Every cluster has one of each light. And as someone who does like filming and photography as an amateur, that can kind of be a little frustrating, because you don't really know whether to set your settings for cool or warm lighting. Anyway, it's just a fascinating thing to think about. It's not a complaint or anything, but just fascinating. All right, so we do have some pretty cool exotic cars over here under the $1 Million Mile, which is pretty cool. This Ferrari California though, this has me very interested. You can kind of see some of the blemishes on the paint, because obviously people have been all over this thing the whole weekend. And then take a look at this badge. It definitely has a lot of scuffs on it. So you mean to tell me that you want me to buy this Ferrari California that has been sitting at an auto show for, I don't know, probably gonna be at least $80,000 or more, obviously. I don't know about that. Well, that is going to do it for the 2023 St. Louis Auto Show. It was fun. I had a good time. Glad I got to sit in some cars, review some cars, as well as to give you guys some of my thoughts and opinions about the automotive industry. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next one, have a good one. This right here was a way better parking garage. Kind of cool. Old school buildings turned into parking garages.